Henry Blackburn was the man who saved New York from nuclear attacks, but his mission didn't end there. Battlefield 3 was only the beginning of his story. Sergeant Henry Blackburn, a disciplined Marine, started off as an obedient soldier, but is driven to go rogue when faced with deep systematic flaws and nuclear threats. Inspired by his veteran father to understand the trauma of war, Blackburn enters the War of 2014 with strong morals. He develops strong compassion for the people, despite witnessing horrific trauma, and his dedication to doing the right things ultimately forces him to disobey his superior officer's orders and break from his friends. Although he was persecuted and even interrogated by his own government, Blackburn's strong pursuit of the truth led to him stopping the nuke and being vindicated as the man who sacrificed everything to save New York. The disgraced soldier responded the only way his training would allow. He adapted. As the world's militaries grew ever more dependent on private military companies, Blackburn seized an opportunity to start his own venture. Wary of undue attention, Blackburn operated from the shadows to recruit and build a formidable fighting force for hire. By the 2020s, he secretly headed one of the most powerful private military companies in the world. In recent years, Blackburn's power and influence have allowed him to spearhead a seemingly more benevolent enterprise. His idea was Arkangel Corporation, an entity committed to the betterment of humanity through the development of AI and robotics. It was a world-changing mission, and Blackburn would do whatever it took to bring it to fruition. Even though Blackburn disappeared from the public eye, he was working behind the scenes building a private army and experimenting with futuristic technology. He became the CEO of Arkangel Corporation, a private military company. In Battlefield 4, the US Marines discover that Russia has been conducting secret weapons tests deep inside of Siberia. To counter this threat, the Marines launch a series of assaults on the prototype test sites: Hammerhead, Operation Whiteout, Hangar 21, and Giants of Karelia. Both sides deploy cutting-edge technology in these battles, making it the first time such advanced weaponry has ever been used. It is possible that Henry Blackburn's private military company played a role in helping the Russians develop this technology. Hammerhead lies within the snowy Baikal Mountains of Siberia. The site houses a submarine base. The facility also includes a test chamber for the XD-1 combat machine gun drone. Operation Whiteout takes place in the Chersky mountain range, where the futuristic HT-95 hover tank is produced. The base is heavily fortified against the harsh Arctic climate, being protected by massive blast doors. Hangar 21 is hidden within the Koryak Mountains, carved directly into the rock to conceal a huge military base. Inside is the prototype Titan mothership, a huge airborne carrier. The final installation, Giants of Karelia, holds the first generation of walkers, later seen in BF-2142. Each of these secret bases displays both Arkangel and Pan-Asian Coalition insignia, hinting strongly that Blackburn's private military company was deeply involved. The Arkangel Company developed a series of different combat technologies. A portable, experimental railgun. It is capable of destroying targets with an instant lightning strike. It was used unpredictably by the ground infantry. The HT-95 hover tank is capable of strafing and maneuvering. It is seen being produced in the Whiteout factories. Although it's futuristic, the first prototype is loud, rigid, and aggressive. There are prototype stationary weapons that blast shrapnel like a shotgun, also known as a metal storm. The special machine gun drone is a first of its kind. It can hover and shoot while flying. It will also self-destruct to avoid capture by the enemy. The robot battle walkers become widely used in the future wars ever since the weather and terrain drastically changed. The finished robot design has full high-impact armor along with an active protection force field. In Hangar 21, the Titan mothership was a huge carrier built by the Russians. It's powered by 6 huge thrusters and capable of transporting both aircraft and helicopters right into combat. Although its full weapons systems were never revealed to the public, an unfinished prototype is left inside Hangar 21, raided by the Marines. The launching assault pod is a one-man prototype vehicle used to boost soldiers into territory that otherwise would be extremely dangerous. It became very useful in the future wars, when the landscapes changed and soldiers could expand their foothold in battle. However, by 2042, Blackburn became the chief of Arkangel Corporation. He was originally a hero in Battlefield 3, so the world plunged into political chaos. Arkangel built advanced AI, robotics, and satellite technology. They publicly claimed to want to improve humanity, but secretly conducted illegal experiments to create cybernetic soldiers known as NOPADs. One of these projects, called Project Palace, a fully sentient AI, which eventually betrayed Blackburn. It took over all of Arkangel's military systems and deployed a global army of automatons.
But the man responsible for today's cutting-edge military technology was once a staff sergeant in the United States Marine Corps.
Everything I've done in my life has been to serve others. Arkangel is not a governing power. We provide aid and assistance.
Blackburn tried to cover his tracks and advance his ultimate plan, Project Solace, to control global weapons, intel, and weather. But his AI creation rebelled against him and derailed it. In the end, Blackburn had to team up with the cybernetic soldiers to destroy the rogue AI and all of Arkangel's major infrastructure, effectively undoing all the chaos he had helped to create, but also leaving a long-lasting legacy as the architect of the most dangerous technology in Battlefield's future. It is known that Arkangel is spelled differently in both games, but it strongly points to Blackburn's company being the same Arkangel. Finally, Blackburn took responsibility for the chaos his creation had unleashed. With the NOPAD cybernetics on his side, he took down Arkangel from within, erasing the technology that once promised to save humanity, but almost destroyed it. Blackburn's empire fell, but his actions restored balance to a world that was on the brink of disaster. Even though history would remember him, both as a hero and a villain, Henry Blackburn's legacy became something bigger. The man who faced the future he built and chose to finally end it. So basically all the stuff from the last DLC in Battlefield 4 was possibly tied to Blackburn's military company.